Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Oh my goodness, we have got some fantastic deals for our friends here at the Garden Center. If you are not local, we would love to have you come visit us anyway. We get travelers from literally all over the country. Before we get started, can we just take a moment to appreciate this Emerald Isle Calicasia? Oh my word, yes, it is mid-November and look at this thing. It is insane. Y'all will not believe me when I say that we planted these and they were in 3-inch containers. That is right. So this growing season, we planted these as little itty bitty tiny little plants, and it has turned into this massive beauty. We'll be interested to see how long it lasts as it goes through the winter because obviously it is going to get zapped at some point. But man, we actually have some of our staff is cleaning up because they've gotten a little messy in here. We are leaving these babies and letting them go as long as they possibly can because, like I said, they are gorgeous and we are enjoying them. And so, Emerald Isle Calicasia. For most people, it's going to be an annual. Unless you're in those really warm areas, it could be a perennial. I forget the exact growing zones on it, but I'm gonna roughly say probably like zones 9 and warmer that you could count on this. Be great in a big container by the pool, who knows, but loves the heat and humidity, obviously, but absolutely stunning. All right, so my sweet friends, we're gonna walk over to the barn right quick. The yellow jackets, the sun is out and the yellow jackets are out too. So if you see Jenny doing the dance, it's because the yellow jackets are on me. So I apologize for that. Okay. We just had online, we had a sale for all the fertilizers and the Felcos were 20% off. So we're gonna share the love with our in-store customers. So y'all, this week, beginning today, Wednesday through Saturday, all fertilizers and all Felco is 20% off. So you need to come, you need to stock up, especially on your biotone, because biotone we use year round. Whenever you plant, you use biotone. There is a small handful of perennials that I know we don't use it when we plant. Sedums and irises. Those are the two that come to my brain right now that you don't use a fertilizer. So let's get our biotone. Now, before we know it, spring is going to be here and we are going to be fertilizing our existing plants. This is what you want. You want the holly tone for your acid-loving plants, your evergreens, your azaleas, your gardenias, your camellias, your hollies. They love holly tone. Rose tone is fantastic for, guess what? Roses, that's right, but also hydrangeas. Hydrangeas love rose tone. That's what I use it for. Obviously, yes, with my roses too. And then if you only buy one, I tell people it is like the Swiss Army knife of fertilizers, plant tone. Plant tone will literally do everything. It will do trees, shrubs, your vegetables, your cut flowers, you name it. Plant tone is what you're going to use. And I think if you want to change the color of your hydrangeas, so your pH dependent hydrangeas, your macrophyllus and your serratas. Typically we are blue, right, because we have acidic soil. If you want to change them to pink, then we have the garden lime that you can use to do that with. So all of your fertilizers are 20% off. Also, all of the Felco, y'all, I'm telling you, think Christmas. Christmas is, I don't know how many weeks away. It's not that many. If you have a gardener in your life, or give it as a Christmas present to yourself, your Felcos, we have got everything. We have got the different snips, the pruners in all the different sizes. We do have the little snips. We have all of the maintenance, because if you take care of your Felcos, then they will literally last you years. The only thing that you're going to need to replace from time to time are the blades, and it is so easy to do. So we have blades that you can replace it with. We have the springs, literally everything. Gloves, of course. I love these gloves, especially in the wintertime, because they are heavy duty and thick. So one, they keep your hands warm. And if you're picking up sticks, if you're doing that kind of stuff, it's a heavier glove. So I love those. The everything, right? So we've got the tools, you name it, 20% off. Now, also, very quickly, we have 2 green stalks left over. So these are those vertical planters, right? And both of these are already come with the stand, so it spins, okay? So we have the 5 tier and the 7 tier. They are on sale. We want to get rid of these. Honestly, we just want to get them out before this season, right? They are great products. They have never been used. They come with the lid. So I can't get the lid off. There we go. So it has the lid with it, with the little leaf, so you can open and close it. So they are on sale. So the 7 tier is $148 and the 5 tier is $136. We only have 2 available, so it's first come, first serve. Of course, we can disassemble it for you and load it all up. Another great Christmas present, so come take advantage of those, right? Because we are going into that season of, we're thinking about Christmas presents and those kinds of things. So trust me, there are plenty of things here at the Garden Center. If you have a gardener in your life and you're like, but I don't know anything about plants, well, we can help you because there are a lot of garden accessories that they can use that you don't have to know about plants. Because let's just be honest, some of us gardeners can be quite particular with what plants go in our garden. And so we kind of like to choose it ourselves. So if maybe that's the case, come get some accessories, and or you can also do a gift certificate. We have those available online in any amount. Now, coming on over, so exciting. This is, quote, a new development. Are they in here or outside? They're outside. Inside. We'll get it right here in just a second. We have in the greenhouse, we have a whole table here displayed. These, we brought all of the remaining quart-sized shrubs that were for the online inventory. We brought them all down and they are here for purchase at the Garden Center. So these are no longer available online. They will be for pre-order later on, but right now we brought them all down. So typically online we sell them for $23.99. They are on sale for $17.99. And y'all, there is a huge range of plants, anywhere from loropetalum, abelias, you've got the ginger wine 9-bark, you've got weigillas, we have got lilacs. Look at all those lilacs. We have got the elderberry, we've got barberries, we've got hydrangeas. This is Kodiak durvilla. We have like the durvillas, like I said, the roses. We have Oh So Easy double red, Oh So Easy double pink, reminiscent yellow. Y'all, this is a brand new one, like literally out just now. This thing, we planted this in the creek bank bed, and then I wanted one so badly that earlier in the summer I grabbed one of these and would put it up in another pot and was growing it. It is a fast grower. It is a stunning bloom that smells divine. So it is a true yellow rose that has that classic rose fragrance to it. Basically a 4.5 tall and wide. You could totally plant this in the ground right now. So don't worry about the winter. Roses are so hardy. It's hardy up to a zone 4. Y'all, we're a zone 8. It can handle our winters no problem. Because if you remember, I planted a David Austin that was just a slightly bigger directly in my ground. I would have no problem putting this in the ground right now and letting it grow. So there you go, have on that. We've got, let's see, I'm trying to look at all. We've got Roses of Sharon, Hydrangea Powerball, which is brand new. So the Powerball is going to be a panicle hydrangea. We've got 3 of these, 3 to 6 tall and wide. So here in the South, they're going to be 6 feet tall and wide. And this is a reliable rebloomer and combines big rounded flower heads with rock solid reliability. So love that. Forsythias, if you're looking for those, you know, spring color, we have got Show Off. I love this. Fast grower. You've got crepe myrtles right here. You've got boxwoods. We've got hollies. This is Castle Spire. And so Castle Spire is a blue holly. Obviously it's evergreen. It is beautiful right now. It is hardy in zones 5 to 7. So I would suggest if you could give it a break from the hot afternoon sun, that would probably be optimal. It could be 8 to 10 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide. We have Legend of the Small Fothergilla. So if you have been looking to add fall color to your garden, Fothergillas are a great native shrub that you're going to want to add. They can get rather big, but Legend of the Small, as its name suggests, is going to be a petite one at like 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide. So this is really fun. It does spring blooms. So this is the selection of those online shrubs, $17.99. Come take advantage of them while supplies last. Some of them we have a good number of, like the Castle Spires, we've got a good number of them. Some things we only have one of. So the early bird gets the worm for sure on those. Still have tons of pansies and violas. Y'all, we got plenty of time. And don't think, oh my gosh, well, we just got down into the upper 20s or it's freezing. Y'all, these things don't care. They do not care. They are cold annuals. So yes, we may have a frost. Yes, we may have a freeze. It is okay. They will do great. In fact, they do better when it's cooler instead of when it is hotter. So that goes for the pansies, the violas, your mustards, your kales, your cabbages. All of these do really, really well outside. All right, let's see. What else are we going to talk about? Shrubs. Let's go on down here. We're going to mosey on down here. Y'all, believe it or not, we're already thinking about next year. So Jerry and Cece and I were talking today about shrubs that we're going to order to have for next spring. That's the thing about nurseries, is you constantly have to think about what your inventory is and adding to it, and not just within the next week, but we're thinking about like a season from now, a year from now. It is crazy. Okay, let's talk about one. Let's just look out here and appreciate the fall color on the shrub lot, right? So these plants have been sitting out here for some of them weeks, some of them have been months. But look at the variation of color out here. We have got azaleas that are blooming. We didn't force those, they're just blooming. This is when they do their fall bloom. So you've got color there. You have, let's just go down this way. You've got panicle hydrangeas that are blooming. This is Firelight. Firelight is one of the most reliable, and whether it's Firelight original like this, Firelight tidbit, they do the best as far as turning that pink for me. But then look at Little Quickfire. Look at the fall color on this. It is not blooming right now. It's one of the earliest ones to bloom, but look at that beautiful foliage. I love this plant, and Little Quickfire will be in that 3 to 5 foot range. So it's not really little, but it is smaller than Quickfire. But when it blooms, it has more of an open, lacy habit. It is a panicle, it loves the sun. We have one right by our back patio, and every spring, Jerry and I are like, oh my gosh, this thing smells amazing. Plus your pollinators love it. But the fall color, the pufferfish with the yellow, I love it, right? So we can have, maybe the blooms are done, right? But you've got all of this color that is popping up. You've got Incrediballs, they're turning a little bit of that yellow look. This is not that they're dying, they're not, they're not in drought, none of that. It's just called the temperatures are changing, the seasons are changing, and the plants are reflecting that. So you have got that. Also, if you do not have a berry poppins, I can't get it all straight. So we have some of these in the signature garden, and these are so fun because of their berries. You do have to have a Mr. Poppins, which we've got a Mr. Poppins down here, but basically we're gonna have a little hanky-panky in the garden, right? You gotta have the male, you gotta have the female. They're gonna have fun together with their pollinators, and you're gonna get these beautiful red berries. Now, if you don't wanna have that, look at Berry Box. So Berry Box is a beautiful evergreen. We planted this in the front of the house that you see those little red berries in there, and you do not have to have a male. So this is self-pollinating, and they're gonna be much more petite. So where the Berry Poppins is upright, the Berry Box is gonna be about 3.5 tall, 3 wide. So it's gonna go out some. Has a real fun, funky habit to it. You've got that. Look at the Fire Chiefs. I love Fire Chief arborvitaes. They are really taking on their bronze hue. They're not dead, because some people will come, especially in the winter, and they're like, it's dead. No, it's not. It just is like a little chameleon. It changes colors. So this is a beautiful evergreen. It is going to form that perfect, nice mound to it. Has that bronze copper look, and then in the spring, it'll keep it on the tippy tips, but then it does change. Coming on through more of the color. Of course, you got to have that green. That constant green is lovely. The Sunshine Ligustrums with that bright yellow chartreuse color is fantastic. And look at Glow Ball. So Gatsby Glow Ball. This is a brand new oak leaf hydrangea, much more petite than your traditional oak leaves, in the fact it can be, well, 6 to 8 tall and wide.
That's Gatsby pink.
Oh, I was going to say, that's not right for Glow Ball. I said Glow Ball is much more smaller than that. Thank you, Jerry. Here we go, 3 to 4. So half the size than Gatsby Pink. If you want, we got Gatsby Pink that is a nice moderate size, but even that is smaller than traditional ones. But they take on those bronze hues. Of course, the butterfly bushes are still blooming. The abelias, oh my gosh, love the abelias. This is Brilliantina. You've got the color there. Who are we right here? Fizzy Mizzy. Look at Fizzy Mizzy. So she has beautiful, those copper colors, the purple, the red. Fizzy Mizzy is a sweet spire. It is native, 2 to 3 tall and wide. Lovely. Got lots of options here for you as well. This is a fun plant. We were actually, Jerry and I were talking about a customer's landscape, and they were wanting to put kind of a lowish hedge underneath one of their windows for security reasons. So they wanted something prickly. Goshiki osmanthus is a great option. So this is a beautiful evergreen, and Goshiki in Japanese, I think it means 7 colors, 3 colors, something like that. Because you're gonna have variation on this. You're gonna have pinks, you're gonna have creams, you're gonna have greens. And it's in that 3 to 5 foot range. It is an osmanthus. It will flower like a sweet osmanthus, just not as heavily. So this is a really cool option. And I love it that you could use it for security reasons, because nobody's gonna wanna be going through this and getting into mischief for sure. All right. Think about color again. Look at the spireas. Look how doozy is changing, right? So you've got double play doozy, one of my all-time favorite plants, next to this Durvilla. So we're gonna appreciate the color contrast. Now, double play doozy is a spirea, right? So it is going to give you that gorgeous color. We've actually got a couple of little flowers coming up because it is a sterile variety. It is not going to produce seeds. It loves the full sun. It is gorgeous in the spring with these bright, like raspberry red blooms on it. You can prune it and it will just keep blooming if you want to. Love this. But next to the Kodiak Orange Durvilla, it is like, this combination is stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. So the Kodiak Orange is going to be 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. It is extremely cold tolerant. You can see how it gets its name because it's got that orange in here on the foliage. They do yellow flowers in the spring. Now it is rated from zones 4 to 7. Obviously we're a zone 8. So you're gonna wanna give this a break in the hot afternoon sun. I'm currently growing one in our shade garden. Well, it gets a lot of morning sun and then a break in the afternoon. But very excited to see how this one does. And then of course, all your evergreens. You can never go wrong with evergreens because to have this nice dark green compared to those bright colors is fantastic. Whether you're looking at the New Gen Independence Boxwood, a 3x3, nice slow grower, high disease resistance. All of your boxwoods are going to be deer resistant, deer proof, as Proven Winner says. So you have got those. Let's say you absolutely despise boxwoods, or you had boxwood blight and you cannot have boxwoods in your garden. So here we have Strongbox, and Strongbox is actually, I'll let Jerry show you that tag, is a inkberry holly. And so it has the look of a boxwood, but it is not. This is going to be still that evergreen, zones 5 to 9, 2 to 3 tall and wide, anywhere from 4 hours or more. And it is very soft to it. It responds beautifully to being pruned. So it really is the prettiest one out of all of those inkberry hollies, because if you have a container or something, you want to do a topiary, you want to keep it in a nice tight form, this is your plant. It loves to be pruned. So a good option for you on that. Let's head over to the pines real quick, because I want to talk about some of the hydrangeas that are over there and the camellias. We've been talking a lot about the sun gardens, I know. So let's give some love to the shade gardens, because I do love a good shade garden. All right. So things that you can be adding to the shade garden right now. In fact, literally yesterday, I added a ton of these types of plants to my woodland garden up at the chicken coop. Your shade-loving hydrangeas. There are certain hydrangeas, just like there are people. Some people love the sun, some people love to go like the beach, some people love the mountains. Think of it that way with your hydrangeas. Some love the sun, some love the shade. These are going to be more shade-loving hydrangeas for us in the South. So we have got Wee Bit Giddy in here. Now, Wee Bit Giddy is right now, it has got absolutely gorgeous foliage on it. It is not blooming. However, this past spring, I went through and took all the giddies out of the garden center and I planted them. And then, because y'all saw them blooming and they were gorgeous, had so many people come in, I want to buy those. And I was like, literally, y'all, I just planted them because nobody was buying them. Wee Bit Giddy is going to be that macrophylla hydrangea that has these electric, massive blooms on them. The flower petals themselves are huge. It is going to be 2 feet tall, 2.5 wide. So very, very manageable for small spaces or the front of the garden. This is not going to be your massive one. Stunning blooms. Now, ruby slippers. So we have got, making sure, no, this is Alice. Excuse me. Sorry, Alice. So this is Alice, which is, we talked about where the Gatsby's are going to be more on that petite side. Alice is going to be a little bit bigger. You, in my brain, if you're going to have a shade garden, you got to have at least one good oak leaf hydrangea. And we all need at least one that's a good size. Now, when I say a good size, I'm trying to remember how big Alice is. I want to say in that 8 to 10 foot range. But she's going to give you those classic white flowers, that burgundy foliage, and these are gorgeous plants. Like, look at that. This is a massive, beautiful hydrangea that you are going to love. Also, camellias. Yes, it is a Sasanqua season here in the South. So we have got camellias rather that are blooming. This is the Royal Flush Shishi Camellia. So we've got some of those. We've got actually just the Shishi camellias and then japonicas. So japonicas are going to bloom later on in the winter. So they have bigger leaves, and look, you can see all the buds. This is I'll tell you in just a second when I see what the tag says. This is April Remembered. I have April Remembered in our garden. It is a beautiful pink one. My boys, both of their birthdays are in April, so I have an April Remembered in honor of my boys. And so you have got those. They tend to be a little bit on the bigger side. It is a great time to plant your camellias. Also, thinking about maybe some evergreen or some perennials that you can put into your garden. We have the holly ferns. Now, in my garden, I call this Annette's holly fern, right? Because I took a clipping from my sweet friend Annette, who lives in Texas. It's massive, it's gorgeous. So we found some of the ferns and we have them. Now, it's not officially called Annette's holly fern, but if you want to call it Annette's holly fern, you certainly could do that. But this is a beautiful evergreen, low mounded habit on this fern. So it's rare that we get ferns that are evergreen, has that nice glossy foliage to it. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I want Jerry to zoom in if he can right here. Do you see the back of the leaves right there? Some people freak out when their ferns look like this. Y'all, these are the little spores. These are not bugs. So this is just the natural reproductive part of the fern. So if you find little black spots, brown spots like that on the back of your ferns, it's okay. It's just what the plant does, and all is well. So lots of options, whether you have sun or shade. We would love to have you here. Take advantage of those specials. We're trying to help you, and you're helping us by getting rid of this inventory, because we don't want to take it into winter. We would rather it be in your garden, in your ground, as opposed to sitting here all winter long. So come take advantage. We would love to see you. Like I said, open Wednesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 3. So that is this week's specials. Next week, we'll have something different for you. All right, my friends, we'll see you next time. Bye.